Hi, this is 365801 and this is a 2025 Buzzword Reading Challenge TBR and recommendations video. Hello and welcome back to another 2025 Buzzword Reading Challenge TBR and recommendations video. This is the readathon that is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, where every month there is a different buzzword and it could be a specific one or a thematic one, and we are doing this for April 2025, and for April it is going to be a thematic one. This one is probably going to be the most difficult and yet also easiest one to do. Every time there's a thematic one, it does take a bit longer because there's so many options. This one is certainly no different. If you are interested in taking part, head on over to Kayla's announcement video, which will be linked in the description, along with all of the visuals you'll need to post on social media if you're taking part. And let's just get into April's, which is, like I said, a thematic one, and animals. Now, if you go on over to Kayla's video, you will be able to see lots of the examples that she has given. There are a multitude of animals. It helps also that the buzzword cover challenge also has animals as the cover challenge that you'd be doing. It is both the animals for buzzword and buzz cover, and so very easily done for most of these examples that I'm going to be showing too. I did go over to my spreadsheet and I did post in just search for certain animals that are kind of obvious, dogs and cats, etc. But I honestly think it would probably just be easier if I went through my collection and just pulled out all the animal ones, because there are a lot. There are a lot. So yeah, let's just go through and see what I got. Okay, so I already checked the top two. There's no ones in there. This is the one that I was thinking about when I opened this drawer, first of all. Yagi the Bookshop Go. I love this one. This is such a great one. Fumi Hurakawa, a Tokyopop. It's a really cute little story about a goat, anthropomorphized goat, who wants to be a bookshop worker. He wants to work in and sell books. But he's a goat, and so he finds them delicious, and he ends up working for a wolf who also runs a bookshop. And they're just super cute. I would do a reread in a heartbeat. It's one of my faves. This is just, it's pure cute vibes. Love it. Wholeheartedly recommend Yagi in the Bookshop Go. He is just the cutest, the sweetest, lovely little goat. Now we do have another one in here, I know for a fact. Let's see. There it is. The Treasure of the King and the Cat. Now this is an odd one. I kind of feel like it's a fantasy one about people and magic and brothers, and I don't know. I feel like this should have been longer. I feel like it should have been ongoing, that there should have been more volumes. I feel like there was more to the story, that we could have gotten a lot more, and I don't know if that's the case in Japanese. Yo Kajika. But this feels like it was a good story, but it felt almost like it was incomplete, and that there could have been a lot more to it. It didn't really feel very BL-y, if I'm honest. It felt very fantasy, which is why I was like, what a disappointment. Like I wanted more from it. I wanted more. But yeah, The Treasure of the King and the Cat is a good one. The art is lovely. The storytelling is really great. The characters were really interesting. I just wanted more. So yeah, I think that's everything in this drawer. I don't think I've got any more at the back. So yeah, let's move on to another drawer. So we move on to the next one, and it's straight away. Here we are. Wolf Magic by Natsuki Zippo. This is actually my second volume of this. I have 2 volumes of this. Didn't realize. And I have read it, but not this particular volume. It was the other volume I read. So I purchased this June manga one shot quite a long time ago, and I read it straight away, and then I put it in the collection at my parents' house and didn't think about it again. So I know I read it once and I cannot remember anything about it. So this is going to have to go on the TBR so that I can actually get it read and maybe remember. I just remember thinking, oh, that was quite good. And that's all, so I don't have much else to say about it. The next one, and this is Twittering Birds Never Fly. I've got volume 7 here. This obviously has birds in the title. This is Yona Dako's like masterpiece. It's a very long running. It's 7 volumes in English. There's at least an 8th volume in Japanese. I think it's still ongoing. I think up to volume 5 or 6 was the first part, and then now we're into the second part. So this is long running. It's kind of magnum opus, but it's also kind of a seminal work within BL. It's following a gentleman who comes out of prison and decides to become a lackey in a Yakuza organization because he has some sort of draw towards an individual who runs a debt collecting agency as part of this Yakuza organization, and their relationship as it grows and changes over several years, and it is phenomenal. And I would like to read volumes 1 through to volume 7 all the way through, which is why I have brought up from my other collection volumes 1, 2 and 3 so that I can actually do that. So this is going on my TBR as well. Now on to the next one, and here we have Rabbit Man and Tiger Man. This is an amazing little story. We only have the first 2 volumes in English. This is obviously by Junior Manga. Akira Honma, I love her work, and this is the work that I absolutely love and enjoy. It's a very silly, sweet, action-packed story following a Yakuza who gets injured and is discovered by a small, timid little doctor who helps him and then runs away. And he doesn't have any memory of who that person was. He just remembers their kindness, and so he wants to find out. So he goes to the hospital to try and discover who this person was, not knowing that it was a small little scaredy cat or rabbit type person. And the two of them end up getting along interestingly. Unfortunately, in Japanese, it was up to volume 3. Then went on hiatus for quite some time, and then Akira Honma got approached to continue it and finished it. And there are 5 volumes with beautiful new cover art, box set. Absolutely, I want this as much. I would love this as a license save. I don't think we're ever going to get it, so I think I will have to just try and get it from Japan in some way. The full 5 volumes. I think that's everything from this drawer. I had a wee quick look, but I think that's everything. Let's move on to the next one. Another drawer, another title. Here we have Makoto Tatano's Blue Sheep Reverie. And now I've got volume 2 here because it's a 6-volume series. At least 6 volumes were published. I don't know if it's got more volumes in Japanese. I'd have to check that out. But I have never read this. Volume 1 is a pink bottom one versus these ones which have the image on the side. And I have it, but I think I left it in my other collection, so I still won't be able to read this. Makoto Tatano, no idea what this is about. But yeah, Blue Sheep Reverie. If you've read it, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I need to go out of my way to get volume 1. It has to happen. It has to happen. I need to read this. Another one from this drawer is Little Butterfly. And you can see I'm taking out the small one rather than this big omnibus version. This is Hinako Takanaga, another stalwart of the BL industry. 3-volume series, or an omnibus if you are so inclined. Story about 2 high school boys that are kind of getting to know each other. It's full of quite a lot of trauma and I would say child abuse in terms of like neglect and family situations, and it was one that we used as a buddy read, I think, me and Katie, and it was quite emotional. It wasn't necessarily to my taste, but it was an interesting read. I think a lot of people really love it because it's part of their reading when they were younger, and so it has a place in a lot of people's hearts. But yeah, I thought it was very well done. There were some things that probably could have done better, but I think Hinako Takanaga did a good job with this. If you're looking for something emotional, then Little Butterfly is a lovely little 3-volume series. I think the last one in this, if I can get it out, is also a butterfly one, and that is The Day I Become a Butterfly by Sumomo Yumeka. This is one I have never read. The mangaka is one I recognize quite a lot, but I've never actually, I don't think I've read very much of their work. So yeah, I have no idea what this is about. I've had this in my collection for a long time, so it's definitely going to have to go on the TBR. I'm going to have to read this at some point in 2025 because it's been here way too long without ever being read. Into the bottom drawer, and I've spotted one. I'm just wondering if I have any in the front, but I don't know if we will. So let's get Bambino. I don't know if that's a child, isn't it? Am I gonna be able to get this one out? Oh my goodness, so packed in there. Let's get this. This is God of Dogs by Satoru Ichihara. This is another one that I've had in my collection for a long time, and I have no idea what it's about, and I've never read it. It's not exactly like, look at those proportions. It's very old school yaoi, right? Old school yaoi hands, old school yaoi. I'm not entirely sure. Oh dear. Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of these are unread, and I know, look at the size of his head and the size of his body. Is that? I don't know. But yeah, so God of Dogs, it's got dogs in the title. Inu no O, probably. Maybe? Is that what that was? So yeah, I've never read this. I have no idea what it's about. Let's see if there's any others in here. I don't think there are any left in here, so let's move on to another drawer. Okay, we're now in the 7 Seas drawer, which is lacking all of the stuff that I bought last year, which is a lot, by the way. And we're going to start with these two here, which I absolutely love. Just the same as Twittering Birds, this is also, I would say, a seminal work. The cornered mouse dreams of cheese, and the carp on the chopping block jumps twice. Setona Mizushiro. This was such an amazing license announcement when I just was so excited about it when they announced and we got it. It's the story of two men. One is gay, the other is ambivalent, I think. We would definitely call him maybe pansexual or bisexual, a little more fluid in his sexuality. Now, I think that's how we would describe him. He's kind of a bit of a pushover when it comes to anyone who has affection for him, and he is easily swayed. And I think that's the way he's portrayed, but I think we could definitely say he has bisexuality energy there. He's a bit of a disaster bi. But of course in Japan that's not necessarily what you get to know about when this was being produced. And that's the difference. I think if you can read this with the absolute knowledge of when it was produced and why it was produced, then you can enjoy it for what it is. And I enjoyed it at the time. I loved the exploration. I loved the psychology of it, and the psychological stress and pressure that was put under these two individuals within their relationship and what society did to them. So I think this is really an interesting one, and definitely recommend it if you haven't picked up already for the drama. It's the drama. So yeah, it's a great one for that reason. Let's have a look at some other ones in 7 Seas. The only other one, there are ones like Titan and Beast and things like that, and I don't think that really should count. Although, you know, the Why Don't You Eat Me, My Dear Wolf. I absolutely loved this one. I thought it was really great. Along with Entangled With You, I think the two should be read like as companion pieces. They're so great. They have this sort of otherworldly animal beast sort of folk tale or fairy tale aspect to them. This follows the story of a boy who is kind of like as a sacrifice, very much so. This seems to follow the same pattern that we've had before in other BL and other kinds of works, and then he gets kind of taken in by the beast or this wolf man and raised, and he always thinks, oh, well, he's going to eat me at some point, isn't he? And I absolutely love the artwork. I love the story. I just think it's a really great little folk tale type story. So yeah, Why Don't You Eat Me, My Dear Wolf is actually incredibly sweet considering what the title is. In another drawer now, and we've got another one called Wolf, and that is Wolf God I Tenkawa. This is a Doki Doki title. I don't consider this BL. Just gonna let you know. It's the story of a boy and kind of like adventure, and yeah, he's like a wolf god, but he's like in training. And it's only the first volume, and there was supposed to be a lot more, and we didn't get it. It was a cute little found family-esque kind of story, from what it was, but it ended abruptly because we only got the first volume. So it is by Doki Doki, and some of the things that Doki Doki produces isn't necessarily BL. It's more shoujo, and I feel like this is it. So yeah, maybe in later volumes there's more BL-esque, but this one there isn't. So yeah, I Tenkawa. You could give it a read if you've got it. I've seen it for sale a couple of times, very, very cheap. So you could maybe pick this up if you're lucky. Now, the last one in this drawer is Tomcats, and I have 2 copies of this, I know. I've put this Mashiro Minamino, oh my goodness. It says number 1, does that mean there's more and we didn't get it? I put this particular volume on my TBR multiple times, and I've never got around to reading it. Or at least if I have no memory of it. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I have ever read this. Yeah, I don't think I've ever read it. Pint-sized human cats, shady men in black, a cat god and more. Okay. No idea what this is about. But yeah, Tomcats. On to some Sublime, and of course we're going to start with the bees. And that is Birds of Shangri-La. This is by Ranmaru Zaria. There's a 3rd volume out, which I haven't picked up yet, and I really need to, because this is an amazing atmospheric sexual story about a man who is, for whatever reason, maybe down on his luck or something, and he gets hired as a prepper in a male brothel on a tropical island. And I guess that's the story. So yeah, the Birds of Shangri-La are these lovely, beautiful, I would say like courtesan-esque. They're treated fairly well most of the time, but it still is prostitution. So yeah, this is so stunningly sexual though, because it's Ranmaru Zaria. Along with another Ranmaru Zaria is Coyote, which is also very sexual. This one also has a sort of mafia element, sort of like werewolves versus mafia. Yeah, I guess that kind of just sums it up. 4 volumes are out. I've got them all. I've read them all. It's an interesting one. I'm waiting for the next installment to see what happens. But yes, we've got a very, very beautiful and sexual experience for this werewolf person, and someone who may or may not, sort of like a Romeo and Juliet-esque, which I quite enjoy. But yeah, this is obviously very, very beautiful because it's by Ranmaru Zaria as well. I guess you could say Jackass, because it's got ass in the title, and an ass is like a donkey. You know, that's why people call them Jackass. This is Scarlet Berico's most fluffy but still quite sexual. I love it. It's great story about high school boys discovering certain things about them that they didn't know. One is quite sexually active, the other is not, and finds himself feeling feelings towards another boy. The other boy has feelings towards his legs if they are in black tights. They have to have the correct denier, I guess, is that what that's called? So yeah, this is an interesting sort of sexual exploration coming of age story, which I really enjoy. And The Three Wolves Mountain is probably one that would definitely be easy to read. It's a one-shot. We have some siblings. They live on a mountain. They're kind of werewolves, but in different forms. And some things are going on, some shenanigans, and there's a wee bit of an adventure and lots of sex. It's by Bora Nauno, and she has a very distinctive art style, and she very much veers towards the fantasy, supernatural type stories. So if you're into that, this is one that I would recommend. I'm gonna have a wee look at some ones at the back here. A Polar Bear in Love is obviously a choice by Koromo. I think the 5th volume just came out, and I don't have any of them because they're yen press and they're kind of pricey. But this is basically a polar bear, and he falls in love with a little seal pup. And it's so BL, it's more BL than other BLs. I absolutely loved it. It's super, super cute. Highly recommend, and I want to get the rest of the series. So yeah, this is one that I have read already. I do recommend it. I was going to say this is the last one in the drawer, but it's not. Toratan, Birds of a Feather by Kotetsuko Yamamoto. Kotetsuko Yamamoto is one of my favourite mangaka ever, and we don't really have too much of her work, which is a shame. But we do have this little 2-volume series about someone who can hear animals speaking, and they kind of have to just live their life that way. And they come across a bird who chats to them, and they kind of have a bit of a thing with the bird. That's all I'm going to say. It's great. It's fantastic. It's Kotetsuko Yamamoto, so obviously it's great. I said that was going to be the last one in it, but technically, a bitch is a female dog. So Yarichin Bitch Club does have an animal in the title. This is Oguretsu Tanaka. So if you like a bit of high school shenanigans, very sexually explicit. This is a sex comedy in the form that most sex comedies are, which are sometimes not funny and obviously very sexual. This is much more so than any other sex comedy I think I've ever read. And yet I still kind of love it. You get really invested in the characters. And these 3, I don't know how it's going to end up. I'm waiting for the next volume. And wondering how it's going to go. They are delightful. And of course it's by Oguretsu Tanaka, so the artwork is stunning too. And I'm not actually going to take out the drawer, but I just want to mention offhand, is The White Cat's Revenge as plotted from the Dragon King's Lap, which is an Aki one, by many others. Kuraha and Yamiko? This is not BL at all, but it's by Aki, so I just feel like I should say it. It's a really good one. Let's go to another drawer now, though. Okay, so we are into some blue titles, and I feel like there's gonna be something in here that must have an animal, but I'm thinking it's probably just this one. This is volume 2. But I did bring all 3 volumes, but I'm just going to take this one out from my other collection. This is by Hirotaka Kitsuragi, who I love because he does such amazing BL, and some of his work has just been great. This one I remember reading a long time ago, but I cannot remember anything about it, except that it was probably angels and demons. That's about it. So yeah, this is going to have to go on my reread some point in time in 2025 list for sure. So I'll take it out and put it on my list. The other ones here that was pretty obvious is Stray Cat. This is by Halko. It took me a while to get this copy actually. And I just remember that it was only meh. That it was an okay one-shot. I was expecting it to be a lot more with the cat thing, but no. It was more just like the personality was cat-like. So yeah, I don't really remember too much about it. Maybe I need to do a reread. Another drawer and another series. This one as well. This is by Modoru Motoni. She's another one that was like really prevalent back in the day. And this is a 3-volume series, as you can see. Following two, I would say, Yankee types. They're two guys who are horny AF, and they're kind of, you know, delinquents at school. They've got their gakuran. It's that kind of like Crows. Think Crows, but add a lot of sex. And that's what Dog Style is. It's two guys who are kind of they kind of know of each other, but they don't really know each other, and then they end up meeting up and in a like den type place, hanging out, and they end up just having sex, and that's it. Not much happens, to be fair, except a lot of Yankee shenanigans and sex. That's pretty much all I remember. I show you what I brought from. So I did bring the other twittering birds, which is good. I have this here, actually. I can talk about this. This is Frog by Mary Kams and art by Pyong Cho. This is a Dream Spinner one. They produced a couple, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5. Oh, sorry. And I tried reading this, but I didn't really gel with it, so I might need to try again. I feel like I should just read the book, and then I might be more inclined to want to read this. Oh, sorry, I did it again. My apologies. So yeah, this is one of the Dream Spinner ones that they took these very popular male romance stories, and then they gave them to artists in Asia to produce works from. I hope that they got paid for it, because Dream Spinner was known for going out business and not paying people. So this is one I don't know anything about, because I've tried to read it a couple of times and I've not gotten past just like the first. It's kind of wordy. It kind of felt wordy. So if you've read this, I'd like to know, what do you think? And should I persevere and like give it a go? Or is it like, fine, read it next year, that kind of thing. So yeah, what else have I got? Okay, there's a big stack here, actually. I did go through what I had in my other collection and brought it up specifically for this. So this is Wild Butterfly by Hiroki Kusumoto. Now, because it's been in my other collection for years, chances are I haven't actually read it, so I don't remember anything. This I know I haven't read, so I don't have anything to say. If you've read it, I'd like to hear your opinions. The other is Yoshimi Amasaki's Dog and Cat, or Dog Cat, because the X is not very often pronounced in Japanese. And this is a 4-volume series. I have all the 4 volumes here. I brought them with me. And I have no idea what this is about. Animalistic First Love. Oh no, this sounds like it'd be terrible. Very, very bad. Yes, I have all 4 volumes, not read a single one. This is volume 4, still in its plastic. So yeah. The other one here is A Gentleman's Agreement Between a Rabbit and a Wolf by Shinano Omi, which you would think is very similar to Rabbit Man, Tiger Man. I have no idea. I know I've read this. No idea. Absolutely no memory. So yeah, this would be one that I'd have to reread just to be able to talk about it, but I cannot remember it. I thought it was another story, but it turns out this isn't it, so yeah. No idea. The other is Mr. Tiger and Mr. Wolf. As you can see, it's still in its plastic, so I haven't read it. This is a 2-volume series. This is volume 2, not in its plastic, but I have not read it. And I have no idea what it's about. So this is going on my TBR. It turns out to be a wily tiger boy. Oh, okay. So, animal stories. Usually I really like animal characteristic stories, so I should really enjoy this one. I should have read it already. And then this one here. This is Butterfly of the Distant Day by Toko Miyagi. Now, as you might have noticed, Toko Miyagi is also the artist of Love Water, the yaoi novel. So she is a mangaka in her own right and has produced quite a lot. This looks beautiful, but I have no idea what it's about and I've not read it. So a lot of these animal ones you would think I would have read already, and I have not. I have a couple here that I just picked up this month. These are going to be in my haul video. Ramen, Wolf and Curry Tiger, which I do not think is BL, and Wolf Pack by Billy Bally Bally, which I do think is BL. So this is definitely going on my TBR. In fact, by the time this video goes up, I might have already read it. I'm hoping to, fingers crossed. Wolf Pack looks really good, from the same author as Fangs. So this should be good. And Akuma, so absolutely gorgeous. This one is a 2-volume series and I have no idea what it's going to be like. So hopefully I'll have read these too. So we're upstairs in my stacks and stacks that have yet to find homes because I haven't got the bookshelves for them. I'm waiting on those. This is My Mate is a Feline Gentleman by Arata Asanae. This is 3 volumes out at the moment. I don't know. I think there should be some more coming out as well. This is by Yen Press. It's an Omega-verse with animal characteristics one, which was all the rage a couple of years ago in Japan. So expect a few more maybe in the pipeline. If you like if you like a bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say bestiality, but yeah. So yeah, we've got a character, it's in the Taisho Meiji era, so of course I lap it up. I love a bit kimono action. I love it when there's suits and kimono together. Mwah. Peak for me. And we've got travelling across to the UK. It's all a bit interesting, Omega-verse with animals. So yeah, this one I actually do recommend. It was kind of fun. It wasn't a huge my favourite, but I definitely did enjoy it. Another one that I haven't read is Canis Dear Hatter. This is by Zach. This is a Kuma title. I have volumes 1 and 2. It's still in its plastic, so you can see I haven't read it. Canis is the word for is it the Latin word or the Greek word for dog? So I don't know what that means in terms of the story, but yeah. So this is an unread one. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. Should I just jump in with if you've read this, is it better to get the new version of Dear Mr. Is it Rain? Then can I read the old version? I don't know. Here we're into the Tokyo Pop ones that I have not shelved yet or read. This is by Nikkei Taino. This is a 2-volume series called The Black Cat and the Vampire. And I do want to read this, but I'm like, should I leave it for October and do a little Halloweeny one, or should I just read it as it is? It looks super cute, and I have both of the volumes, so I could just get stuck in. I love a good vampire story, so I feel like I should just read it, but then this TBR is becoming incredibly long. I pulled the other Tokyo Pops out. We've got Sating the Wolf by Troy Arukuno, and I've not read that. World's End Bluebird by Anji Seina, and I've not read that. And then 2 I have read is The Cat Proposed by Dento Hayane and The Snake Who Loved a Sparrow by Natsuo. This was a really cute and quite thick one. In fact, they both were pretty chunky. Lovely, beautiful artwork, very sort of like supernatural and fantasy based, animal kingdoms type story. So are they actually people who have these animal characteristics, or are they just the anthropomorphized? And I think when I read it, it was like, oh, they're just anthropomorphized. So this is like an animal kingdom story. Whereas this one is about a bakineko and a man who is an overworked and depressed salaryman who ends up accidentally becoming engaged to him. And I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourites. I really enjoy this Dento Hayane work. It's one that I very strongly recommend. I think the last one, fingers crossed, this is the last one to show you. This is a Nagisa Furuya one called The Two Lions, and it's about 2 guys who used to go to the same high school, and then they end up both going away further from their high school to their university, but they end up bumping into each other. One of them is trying to have a glow up, a sort of reinvention of himself from the bad boy reputation that he had, to become just a normal, everyday uni student, but the other one is kind of like a golden retriever type character, and he just becomes friends with him. And it's just great, and I could definitely do a reread of it. I love Nagisa Furuya, and I love all of the works that she produces. So this is everything, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted. This is taking forever. I think it would have been just as difficult having done it properly through the spreadsheet. But yeah, I did check the spreadsheet, but when I started looking for animals, it was like, oh my god, there's just too many. And I don't even know if this is everything. I honestly don't. I feel like I'm missing some things. But yeah, if you've got any ideas of ones that I have missed out, please let me know in the comments down below. If you've read any of these, I'd love to know your thoughts, especially the ones that I have read. So I've put the ones that I have read and I remember mostly on the left. So that's Three Wolves Mountain, Toratan, Yarachin, Birds of Shangri-La, Coyote, Jackass, Dog Style, Wolf God, Twittering Birds, Rabbit Man, Tiger Man, Cornered Mouse, Dreams of Cheese, The Two Lions, Snake Who Loved a Sparrow, Cat Proposed, Treasure of the King and the Cat, Yagi the Bookshop Goat, Why Don't You Eat Me, My Dear Wolf, Little Butterfly, My Mate is a Feline Gentleman, A Polar Bear in Love, and Stray Cat. I kind of remember Stray Cat. Maybe I could do a reread, but I don't really feel like I need to. On the other side is Frog. So I've not read. Canis, not read. Wolf Magic, I've read once and I have no memory of. Wolfpack is a new one. Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger is a new one. Dog and Cat. Gentleman's Agreement between a rabbit and a wolf. I know I've read once, but once again, like Wolf Magic, I don't remember it. Mr. Tiger, Mr. Wolf. Butterfly of the Distant Day. Innocent Bird, again. I feel like I've read it, but I don't remember. World's End Bluebird, Sating the Wolf, The Black Cat and the Vampire, all new ones from last year in December, haven't read yet. Tomcats, had forever and haven't read yet. Blue Sheep Reverie, I don't even know where my volume 1 is. I know I've got one, don't know where it is. God of Dogs, The Day I Become a Butterfly, and Wild Butterfly. Now I was kind of wondering how many of these animals, like, which is the most popular? I think wolf might be the most one. Then we've got lots of cats. Yeah, I'm thinking birds as well. They're pretty popular. So yeah, I wonder which is the most popular BL animal. I'm quite happy with this as a sort of TBR-esque. I don't need to read them all. I just need to read one and then it counts. But I would like to get the ones on the right hand side read as much as possible, especially the ones that are like volume 1s that wouldn't take too much, or one-shots, especially because there's the one-shot readathon in April, so this is also good for that. So if you want to read any of these that are one-shots, Bizarre Individual is one of the hosts, and so every year I try to read at least 1 or 2 one-shots during that time period. I usually do a TBR for it, but I guess this kind of covers a lot of what I should be reading this month anyway, as there are a lot of one-shots in this too. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts about any of these, and if I have missed out any of the latest ones that I haven't picked up yet, please do let me know. I always like adding them to my shopping list so that I can keep tabs on what I haven't got and what I haven't brought into the collection yet. Are any of these your favourite? There's definitely a few in here that I absolutely love. And I feel like I could just sit and read right now. I'm looking at you, Yagi, the bookshop goat, the cat proposed. I just love a little bit of animal this. So yeah, this is a good month for me. A lot of the ones here I really do enjoy. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this too. Hopefully you got some recommendations. Please let me know if you ever do end up reading any of the ones that I've put down in any of these recommendation videos. Take care, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.